It's today's leadoff question with Colin Shaughnessy, a member of the Axtell boys basketball team. Colin, your question: did you have a welcome to varsity sports moments?
Yeah, so it was probably more like a series of moments. It's about 3 years ago, about this time at the TVL tournament down in Washington, my freshman year. I think the first game versus Frankfurt, that was my first varsity start, and then we had two more games, one versus Troy, and the big welcome to varsity was the championship game in the TVL tournament versus Blue Valley. It was just gym was packed, loud, and it was very like a lot of nerves for me since I've never played in that big a stage before, especially as a freshman starting. And I would say that was my biggest by welcome to varsity.
Like, at what point did you kind of settle in? Was there a moment in that game where you did kind of settle in, though?
Yeah, I remember. I don't know who got a steal. It was kind of towards the beginning of the game, probably halfway through the first quarter. Someone got a steal, and then I got a leak out layup, and then I kind of realized that I could kind of hang with them a little bit, and I could play with them.
Were there any moments or any individual players that maybe got the best of you in that game, though? That was kind of like another welcome.
There was a what was his name? It was Blue Valley's point guard. I think his last name was Pleasant. I don't remember, but I had to guard him like two times. It wasn't my matchup, but he was a senior guard. I think he went to play at I think Pratt Community College, but he was really quick. He could get downhill, and he was a big playmaker for him. So I wasn't used to the quickness.
What did you learn after that tournament? Anything that you took from that tournament that helped you out?
I think the biggest thing I got from that tournament was probably just confidence and realizing that I can play with on the varsity level.
That is Colin Shaughnessy, a member of the Axtell boys basketball team, with our leadoff question. It's today's leadoff question with Logan Sandmann and then with a member of the Axtell boys basketball team. Logan, your question: what was your welcome to varsity sports moments?
Mine was pretty much a single moment. It was in the TVL tournament my freshman year. We were playing Clifton Clyde to go to the championship game, and it was in the last seconds, and Eli Brockman hit a game-winning three to send us to the championship, in which we went on to win. And that whole tournament, and especially that moment, was my realization to what varsity sports really is and how fun it can be.
What was your initial reaction to that game?
As my initial emotion was just no way, because I was standing under the basket. When he shot it, I watched it all the way go through, and I didn't even know what to do with myself when it went, and I couldn't believe that it happened, and it was great.
Do you remember what play was drawn up and how it worked?
Yeah, the play was pretty much drawn up the way it happened. They passed it into Eli. Eli shot it, and that's how it went.
So for you, like for varsity sports, like how much have you learned since that point, and what are some of the things that you've learned since that game?
I definitely learned what it's like to play on a big stage. TVL tournament as a freshman was kind of scary, but the whole crowd showed up to support, and it just gave me confidence for the next games and the next coming years.
That is Logan Sandmann, a member of the Axtell boys basketball team. It's today's leadoff question with Joe Lybarger, a member of the Axtell boys basketball team. Joe, the question: what was your welcome to varsity sports moment?
Well, I can't really think of a game welcome to varsity sports, but I would say the practices is probably what it is. Having the upperclassmen a lot more bigger than you, faster, they're just more educated and know a lot more about knowledge of the sport they're playing, especially basketball. I remember my first year, I think I'd have an open lane, like, and I would go and rotations would happen so fast. I think the speed of the game is just a lot quicker. Getting used to it is a lot harder than you'd expect as being so young.
What was your initial feeling? Like you mentioned, like going up against those upperclassmen. Like, what was your kind of mindset at some of those first practices when you were a youngster?
Well, when I first went into it, I didn't expect it to be so hard. Like, I just thought it was going to be normal. And then when you start scrimmaging versus bigger guys, quicker guys like Eli Brockman and Brandon Smosley, they're just quicker, a lot stronger. It's harder to get around them, and they're just always there. They're just on you.
What did you learn from those guys? Anything that you picked up from those guys?
Yeah, I learned a lot from them. About how to be a leader. They're just they lead all the time, hard work. they really work really hard all the time. They push themselves, they push us all the time.
So now, do you feel like you've given any of the freshmen now or sophomores some of their welcome to varsity moments?
Yeah, I try and lead them, and I try and make them all to work hard. And
Well,
I
for
just,
you, yeah, you're good. Then for you, like, so now, like, how much more experience do you feel now, just as an upperclassman?
yeah, I feel a lot more experience. It's just feel like I've adapted to the game a lot more, and I'm a lot quicker, faster, bigger than what I used to be, and it's just the younger classmen how they have to get used to it.
As Joe Lybarger, member of the Axtell boys basketball team.